In the great state of Montana, game wardens fight a daily battle. They fight to enforce state game laws and protect our natural resources.
Get up, game warden! Everybody up and out of the tents.
Today, a child is missing, and it's chaos for wardens. Also, state game ranges open for antler hunters. But for one antler enthusiast, it'll be a day he'll never forget.
After everything was all said and done, I told him I was going home to kiss my little boy.
You know what you did wrong? You're before shooting hours. There we go. You want to go to jail yet?
Montana's Rattlesnake Valley. One of the state's most scenic and historic towns, but it's got another reputation. One that has state game wardens on high alert. Bears are unwelcome visitors in town, and wardens have a report that a wandering bear might have dragged away this woman's young daughter. Wardens gear up to find the girl and the bear.
Sorry?
A 6-year-old girl named Rhoda was wearing a dress.
Okay.
She doesn't remember what color.
Okay.
And then it ran right into here somewhere, according to what they said.
Right away, officers find themselves in dangerous territory. Thick woods make spotting a potentially dangerous bear almost impossible.
You don't want anyone to go in there. We're going to go in there and find that bear, okay? We're going to go in there and find the other bear.
And wardens have to wrestle a swollen Rattlesnake Creek in the search area.
Be careful, it might not get hit.
Across the Rocky Mountains, State Warden Dave Holland burns through rounds. It's mid-May, and Montana's game ranges open to shed antler hunting. Shed hunting is big business in Montana, and Warden Holland hopes to move the elk herd west and away from the gathering crowd of shed hunters.
Tomorrow when we open the game range, we're gonna have over 1,000 people running around in here. So what we're gonna do is we gotta get some of these elk moving off the game range. Majority of the time of the year we want to not disturb them, but we're getting into the middle of May. We want these elk to start moving west, get them back out onto their summer range, which is in the backcountry.
Other officers gear up to drive the herd on horseback.
If you guys can, we'll give you guys a little head start, like 10 minutes. Ride up and over this ridge, and then we're gonna come around and take the road and hopefully keep pushing them west.
Slowly, the team drives the elk west.
They're moving right now. Those are the ones that we really need to move.
Yeah, 10-4. They're just streaming out of here nice. They're trailing. I can see them just trailing up the hill.
Yeah, Brian, if you could just stay to the south of them and ride due west, that would be perfect. They know they want to go to Home Gulch. You guys are doing a good job. They stay here for the summer. They'll eat off all the forage. And when they come back next winter, they're not going to have anything to eat. So we want to encourage them to leave. We just shoot noisemakers out of our shotgun. We don't shoot at the elk. We just shoot the noisemakers in the air. We stay at a distance. These elk are out there probably, I don't know, half a mile. It's a good way to get them moving.
Look at the size of that sucker.
Where did he come from?
Then they stumble on an unusual find among the game range residents. Somehow, a giant painted turtle has found its way onto the range and away from its home territory.
God, it's amazing. I mean, yeah, we got the crick over here, but
That's unusual to see.
Yeah.
I didn't think of when I saw it.
I thought you were giving me a hard time. A turtle. I was about to fall for it.
You turned around, didn't you?
Yeah, I did, and it was a turtle.
Wardens help funnel the old turtle towards a nearby creek and get back to the elk. By early evening, the herd makes its way to Home Gulch, a safe area, clear of the shed antler hunting grounds. Just before dark, wardens turn their attention to the growing crowd. Although the gates don't open until noon tomorrow, hundreds of shed hunters have already lined up to camp out and get first shot at the giant sheds on the refuge.
Nobody has a fire yet, and all horses are tied up, and everything looks pretty good for now.
Okay, copy that.
With so many people already on site, wardens could have a busy night wrestling the antsy crowd. Coming up.
Hey, we do have a body up here, partially buried in pine duff.
Way out on the far western end of Montana, state game wardens have their hands full on a search and rescue mission. A woman reported a bear attack on her 6-year-old daughter. Nobody's seen the bear, nor the girl, for more than an hour. Teams searched the woods just outside the town of Missoula.
Almost looks like something might have been drugged right up here.
Just after lunchtime, wardens discover evidence of a potential victim.
I'd like to see if there's any blood on it.
There's possibly a drag trail up here where something might have been drugged.
There's some blood on the grass. So it looks like maybe someone tried to deploy it, didn't get the safety off. There's actually, it looks like something happened up here as well. Once again, the needles are displaced.
The mark comes right through here, and there's a knife right here. There might be some blood, I don't know from the rain, behind the drag mark is right there. Oh, hey guys, I've got something buried behind you right here.
Make sure you look up.
Yeah, why don't we?
I'm looking up for cougars.
Yeah, we definitely got a bunch of blood in these jeans on the inside.
That's the bad news. The good? This is just a training mission that includes actors and even real evidence.
Today we were having all week we're having a training here in Missoula, Montana. It's called WART training. It's Wildlife Human Attack Response Team training for a predator attack on the human.
Wardens spend time in classrooms learning how to respond and manage predator attacks on humans. On this day, their training gets a real-life test.
It's ironic that we got pulled from the class today because we've got a report of a grizzly bear that has been shot by a citizen. It's supposedly wounded and has limped off into the woods.
Oh, you got a picture?
Yeah.
Sure. My understanding of it is he kind of
has all the salt blocks out?
well, he still has some over here. So my understanding is the bear, he yelled, it turned and went right to here. And from his position on the porch is when he, boom.
This is the one that den right up behind my cabin.
State bear biologist Jamie Jonkel responds with a team of officers to the shooting scene. Right away, Jonkel recognizes the bear in the picture. It's a big female he collared several years back.
The bear was walking this way when you shot?
Yeah, well, actually, if you down here, what I did is I was right here, and where that cameraman is,
That's where the bear.
I shot at, but the bear was right there by that tree.
Okay.
Wardens suspect the bear might have been attracted to the property by a salt lick out behind the cabin. The shooter says he was trying to scare the bear off when he fired a warning shot. He tells wardens he might have accidentally hit the bear. Grizzlies are protected under the Endangered Species Act. It's illegal to shoot them for any reason other than self-defense. Jonko uses a radio transmitter to see if he can pick up a signal from the wounded bear. Wardens want to find this grizzly.
50 is active. That means it's alive. 30 means something's screwy.
Weird.
Yeah.
Oh, something, okay.
Something's wrong.
Okay.
410, if you can copy me, go ahead.
I'm over here at the Wolf Creek Bridge. You want me to run over to the Oasis, see what's going on?
48, can you advise?
Montana's 75 field wardens are responsible for patrolling more than 145,000 square miles. Often they're the first responders to emergencies. Warden Goley races to a call in Wolf Creek. People called after a sick man showed up in a bar.
My name's Mike Davis. I'm going home finally. A week ago, my Cadillac went in the river, smashed up the whole front end.
It went in the river, or were you driving it?
I was driving.
Okay.
Drunk driver ran me off the road.
Okay.
The man tells Goley he checked out of a hospital earlier in the day.
I just left the VA shirt.
All right. Did they give you some medication?
A patron in the bar says he's still sick.
All right.
I'm pleased to meet you.
These your pants too?
Yes, sir. I shit him in the bathroom.
Okay.
What's your name, sir?
Brian.
Brian?
Yeah, I just said that. Do you remember me just talking to you?
No.
right.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
After realizing the man's condition seems to be worsening, Warden Goley calls for an ambulance.
Here comes the professionals, okay?
I don't need them. I'm all right.
Paramedics check out the elderly man.
You got a spray thing we can spray that chair off with?
Oh, yeah, I can take care of that, sweetie.
Okay.
Which one?
That one. Yes. Yes, actually.
The man needs immediate medical attention, but refuses to go in the ambulance with the rescue crew.
Do you think you need to go to the hospital?
Oh, I know I do.
Why didn't you stay there when you were there?
Because I'm going home first. I got an appointment Wednesday.
Well, what are we going to do with you right now? I mean, we can't let you go alone.
I'm going to get my truck and drive home and go. In the store.
Wow.
Now Warden Goley finds himself in a pickle. Coming up, the search is on as Montana's antler shed hunting season gets underway. It's the open of Montana's antler shed hunting season, and crowds of hunters pack in to get first shot on the state's game ranges.
Just checking to make sure that everybody behaves themselves before the big opener. This is going to be a big free-for-all for the next few hours until the gates open.
What's that for? What's that for? That's for bears and other antler hunters, if it has to be.
Getting his running clothes on. Yes, he's got shorts and putting on running shoes.
While the vast majority of hunters follow Montana's game laws, wardens do periodically run into trouble. Before the lunchtime opener, Warden Dave Holland discovers a group of hunters already across the border and in the game range.
Hey, you're too far out. Come back to the road. You have to be just like these people. You're halfway up the hill.
Yeah, down here at the end of the line, I got a question whether or not they can ride horses up from there at noon once the game range opens.
Yeah, once it hits noon, they can ride right from the road and they can head right up the hill if they'd like.
Okay, hear that?
Yep.
Okie doke.
All right, thank you.
Okay, you bet.
Up the road, a young hunter anxiously waits for the noon open outside the refuge. He's already spotted his prize.
So here's here at the Sun River Game Range, and here's an antler right here, and I can't wait till noon. They're gonna open it, and I just can't wait. I'm gonna really try to get this antler.
Would anyone have some toilet paper for the outhouse?
Some of these folks were up all night, and so they're going to be tired and grouchy and hungover and looking for a fight.
Just up the road, wardens discover a campsite that appears to have been trashed. No one's around, but the warden notices a nearby truck with the radio cranked.
To see all the channels in our Christian music category, choose categories on your radio and scroll to on certain radios.
Hey, are you with this camp?
Enlighten may be in the pop category, and praise may be in health.
Hey, can you turn that down real quick while I'm talking to you?
I've had a problem with these guys all night long.
With these guys?
Foul mouth.
The man in the truck tells the warden drunk campers kept everyone up. Warden Holland has no problem spotting signs of the party.
Everybody up in the tents right now. Get up and get out of your tents. You awake? Get up, yep. Game warden. Yep. Okay. Everybody up and out of the tents. Okay.
Yes, sir.
You guys have to get this cleaned up in 10 minutes. Do you understand?
Okay. I didn't even know.
Let's do it now. Get up and.
I didn't take part in that.
Okay, night. Get up. I'm telling you to move your tent right now.
Okay.
Everybody up. Start cleaning this camp up right now. Right now. There won't be any discussion. Start picking these tents up and pick that garbage up right now. I'm staying here till you get it done.
Warden Holland calls for backup after he realizes he's got his hands full.
6 guys. Wake up. You guys, you understand why I'm doing this? Looks ridiculous. There's beer cans and garbage everywhere. Yeah. This is a game range. This isn't a rock concert somewhere, okay? So let's make it look good.
Yep. Guy in the tent here's been threatening us because this guy.
Okay. Well, the sheriff's going to be here in about a half hour. I can take a statement from you.
I love TV made wild. That's why Axeman is a joke. That's why they're making you guys look like a joke.
This partier isn't happy with Warden Holland's wake-up call.
Shows up this year too.
Here's the deal. If you keep it up, you're going to get arrested for disorderly conduct, all right?
Another in the party ignores the warden's orders to get cracking on the camp.
Wake up, game warden. Well, you're gonna hear in a minute. You got to get out here and clean this camp up.
He's a military veteran.
Aren't we all?
No, I'm dead serious.
I'm dead serious. Aren't we all? Okay. I am. That warden is. Probably half the people going down this line are. There's no excuse, okay? I'm telling you right now to get out of the sleeping bag and get out here and clean this up. Stand by then. You got about 15 seconds to get out of that tent.
Holland calls for the sheriff as the situation escalates.
I haven't seen one yet.
All right, let's come up here. We gotta move this guy along. Get him up. I'm telling you, he's this far. I'm right behind you.
While Warden Holland wrestles the partiers at the Sun River Game Range, Warden Bill Copen gears up to go after trespassers on the Blackfoot Clearwater Game Range. His team runs into the refuge to look for poachers who might have snuck in early to try and grab sheds.
There's nothing they can see on here, whether it's the elk or the bad guys.
Later on Wardens.
I remember thinking to myself, I have only 3 rounds. I have no margin for error. I cannot miss.
In Montana, state game wardens investigate a shooting involving a grizzly bear. A landowner says he tried to scare the bear off his property with a warning shot, but thinks he might have accidentally hit the grizzly. State bear specialist Jamie Jonkel suspects he knows the bear.
This is Frenchy Lake right here. So here's where she was shot at, right here. Here's where we think she is now. And then, she kind of denned up here in this Bull Mountain country. And so did her mother, and so did her father. So it's kind of cool, it's a little collective lineage of bears that live right in this area. And I know she's pumped out two cubs. One was killed on the highway, the other one lived. And then Molly had, over the years that we monitor, at least 2 litters. And Smurdell is one of those.
Neat.
Kind of cool.
Really cool.
Jonkel used a radio transmitter to locate and track the collared bear.
What it appears is the bear didn't move very far. Yesterday, less than half a mile in 12 hours. So we're going back in today. We're going to use a helicopter today to try to get a better look at the bear, and hopefully we find her alive and well. But anyway, we just have to try to figure out if she's dead or how badly she's wounded.
Jamie and I talked this morning. What we would like her to do, if anything, is move to the north, come down. That's huge open right there.
Yeah, we'll just kind of post out around that open.
If she's not hit, she'll come busting down that hill.
Okay.
And then once I get eyes on her, and then I can just herd her like a cat down the hill.
Okay.
And get her out in the open where somebody can look at her. Hey, there's a blood spot. I'll be able to see her. I'll be able to tell you from the radio, and I got comms with all you.
Wardens hope to spot the wounded bear from the air. If the bear's been shot, the clock's ticking to find it alive. Back at the Sun River Game Range, Warden Holland has his hands full with a group of hunters camped out on the eve of Montana's shed hunting season. Other campers in the area complained the men drank all night and caused quite a stir.
You guys didn't break any bottles over here, did you? Do you guys have a shovel? Okay, make sure there's no broken glass left on the ground. Scrape up the... Thank you for your cooperation. No problem. Basically, we got. I roll up here and there's beer cans and garbage and broken bottles and. I just saw it over there. Yeah. It don't look it exactly. Exactly. It's perception.
Yeah, I understand.
So we just need to.
And nobody's trying to be grouchy or
no. And I understand we're waking up. You see a guy with me, so.
No.
I appreciate your help, guys. I do. All right, guys, thank you for your help. I'll be back in a little bit. All right.
Meanwhile, the noon opening to Montana state game ranges is fast approaching. Literally thousands of people lined up to be the first through the gates in search of prized elk antler sheds. Some sets can bring upwards of $1,000.
My dad and I have been coming up for, we think, about 13 years now. We came up after it started opening at noon on Wednesdays, or on the 15th. We started with the horses, rode horses for quite a few years, did pretty good. Came in one year just and walked, and now I got married and the husband comes with us now. And we missed last year because I had a baby, but we brought the four-wheelers this year and try our luck again, I guess. This is number 13. Lucky 13, we hope. Start your engines.
Coming up, as the shed antler season finally opens, one hunter gets more than he bargained for. You're watching Wardens only on Outdoor Channel. Today on Wardens, it's been mayhem. State game wardens are doing real-life training near Missoula, dealing with conflicts between humans and animals. Ironically, while in class, a call came in of a grizzly bear being shot and wounded, and the search is on to try to find this collared bear. In Region 4, Warden Brian Goley is dealing with a gentleman under the influence of prescription meds, and Montana's shed hunting season opened at 12 o'clock. Hunters raced onto the Blackfoot, Clearwater, and Sun River game ranges in search of prized shed antlers.
Yeah, we opened the gate today at noon, and so far everyone has behaved themselves. All the cars went through rather quickly. The horses took off like rockets, and a lot of runners took off, headed out into the field, and they're all up there now after antlers. It seems like everybody is happy and things are going smoothly. So we'll see how they do when they come back with their antlers.
So we're just going to spend the rest of the day patrolling, answering questions.
Just a couple of hours into the hunt, hunters start appearing with sheds.
Everybody walking by me's got horns but me.
Because you're out here on the gravel.
I just come out.
6x6 matched set. Brother-in-law found them, but I'll take claim for them.
It's pretty heavy one.
No, I'm gonna say 13 and a half.
Yeah, I can go about
14 and a quarter.
14 and a quarter.
14 and a quarter.
Gotta find the other side to it though.
Good luck.
Over on the Blackfoot Clearwater Game Refuge, Warden Aaron Berg races to a 911 call.
We were out patrolling earlier today. We opened up the gates so the people could come in, and at about 12:45 p.m. we got a call over the radio. An individual had called 911 stating he had to shoot a grizzly bear in self-defense that was charging him. There was some witnesses that actually seen. Did you hear 2 shots? 2 shots. That's one shot. He realized the cubs were between him and the sow. The sow didn't like that, so she took chase to him.
He was running for the truck, you know. I mean, he literally.
The bear was definitely chasing this guy.
I ran. Fight or flight. My choice at that time was flight.
And I guess the story is this individual was walking this ridge, head down, looking for antlers like everybody else is.
It was about 5 minutes to noon when I got to Clearwater Junction. I was gonna go into the first gate, and there was people lined up all along the highway. Well, I decided I wasn't gonna go in the first gate. I would access another way. So I kept driving up the road, and by the time I went up about 4 switchbacks, I had already caught the end of the line. Everybody was still driving, so I figured I'd get out and do a short hike and see if I could find some antlers while they were all still in their vehicles driving. I left my GPS, my backpack, my water, everything in the truck, because I was just gonna do an hour-long hike back to my truck and then go to the original spot that I wanted to antler hunt. That day, there was 35 to 40 mile an hour winds. I did not pack pepper spray with me. I had pepper spray, but I did not bring it with me that day. That day I chose to pack my 44 mag pistol. I hiked approximately 25 minutes. I was looking on the ground for an antler, and I looked up, and she was already at a lope coming at me. I wasn't sure at that point if it was a grizzly bear or a black bear. At that point, I got as big as I could, started waving my arms and hollering as loud as I could. Hey bear, hey, hey. Hey, 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 hey. Well, when I hollered at her, she went from her nice little lope to a full-out charge. Hey, hey, no! I still hollered at her. I pulled out my pistol, and I was still waving my arms and hollering at her. She closed the distance to less than 10 yards. Hey, 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 no, hey, hey! She kind of bit at the place that I shot, and she ran past me. The first thing that came to my mind was, wow, she didn't even drop a step when I just shot her with a 44 mag.
In Montana, the number of bear attacks and other predator encounters are on the rise. Game wardens are often the first responders on scene, exactly why the Montana game wardens are getting a little extra training.
It's getting us more prepared for when those attacks do occur, and you can respond to them and help everyone that's there, help the family members and the victim, and plus help the offending animal if you need to.
Today, wardens take part in a scenario gathering evidence after an apparent attack.
Primary purpose of the scenarios is to give the students training, the officers training in how to respond, how to investigate them, And also it helps them deal with the stress that they're going to encounter when they get on the ground in an actual real-life attack or fatality.
Near Lincoln, Montana, wardens search for a wounded grizzly bear. A landowner tells wardens he's fired a warning shot to scare the bear off his property. Turns out the landowner admits he might have accidentally hit the grizzly. Wardens have been tracking the radio-collared bear for 2 days, unsure how seriously the sow might be injured. Now, they hope a helicopter will help track her down.
Oh, there she is.
Wardens finally catch a glimpse of the big grizzly crossing an old logging trail. She looks healthy enough that wardens won't intervene.
Well, I thought you were blowing a little smoke back there when you said you could herd bears, but you can herd bears.
And when I first got up there, and I said, well, shoot, I could tell right away because the beeps were moving, and I could see she was doing a pretty good clip. But I think she was a little up on the top in a nest.
Yeah. She didn't move much from yesterday at all, really. She stayed in there the whole time. So.
Probably sore.
Yeah. And this is this type of scenario, you know, where this is an educational deal, and he needs to realize that he could have taken a valuable bear out of the population. Look at all the cost that it took for us to come up here to follow up on this. You know, we probably have, with helicopter time and everything else, $3,000 to $4,000 in this whole 2-day deal.
Well, we're not done either.
Yeah, and you guys will have to keep monitoring it.
Wardens determined the bear was, in fact, shot, but not seriously wounded.
You know, and if he doesn't end up getting charged and he gets a good freaking, you know, slap that, you know, geez, you screwed up, you're getting lucky.
Wardens ticket the landowner. He faces a $1,000 fine. The shooting proves people need more education. Exactly why Montana Fish, Wildlife and Parks run spring clinics to teach people how to protect themselves in bear country the right way.
You do not want to put this on your tent or on your clothes. Okay, this is made with capsaicin, which is a very, very potent pepper. If you encounter a bear, if the bear is not aware you're there, you don't need to say anything. Just keep backing up. Just don't take your eyes off of the bear, but just back up, back out of the area and leave the area. But if the bear is aware you're there, start talking to it. Let it know that you're a human, okay? Let it know that you're not prey. Start leaving the area. Go ahead and get your bear spray out and have it ready. But most of the time, they're not going to bother you. But if the bear does happen to come into you, you have 7 to 9 seconds in this can, and that's it. So you don't want to start spraying, okay? You want to be backing out, talking to the bear. Whoa, bear. Whoa, bear. This is also under pressure. So if you can, you want to use 2 hands. But if the bear comes into you, you want to do 2 sweeps. And what you're doing is you're building a wall in front of you. Just like that. And see what I've done? I've built a wall. The bear's coming in. You're backing out, you're backing out, you're backing out. You're talking to me. You're talking to me. Go bear, go bear. Okay, here I come. Once the bear has hit the spray, he will cough, and a lot of times his eyes will, he'll water and he'll turn. But you want to be leaving. You want to be backing out the entire time. Okay, I'm coming into you. What do you want to do? You bet. Go ahead and do it. Go ahead and get rid of that. It's tough, isn't it? It's a lot harder than it looks. That fast, that fast. I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. They make, like I said, they make these wonderful inert training cans, and they do sell these, and these are really nice to just become familiar. If I stomp my foot and I put my foot down, it's a bluff charge. It's not real. Maybe it's a bluff charge. That fast, I'm here. Nice job, but do the sweeping motions, you bet, but good job, come on in. You wouldn't hand somebody a 44 and say, oh, here, go protect yourself without teaching him how to use it, right? Well, you don't want to do the same thing with the bear pepper spray. You want to learn how to use it.
Coming up, wardens have their hands full once again. An elderly man refuses medical attention.
You have my full permission to search that vehicle for contraband or anything else.
Wolf Creek, Montana. In Region 4, Warden Brian Goley assists paramedics with an elderly man who refuses medical attention.
Excuse me, is that a news camera?
No.
Yeah.
We can look.
Okay, now you'll find...
We're gonna have to have these guys tell us it's okay to, or if you're telling us.
You have my full permission to search that vehicle for contraband or anything else.
Okay, we're not worried about that.
I'm not a drug runner, you know, I could be. I could be carrying all kinds of marijuana. Let's go find out what...
Warden Quinn Kuka arrives on scene. They get permission to search the man's truck to try and find his medicines and hopefully an ID.
I ain't seeing his medication, are you? Unless this is what his medication is.
It's even taped shut.
Probably is.
Oh, I don't want to open that.
Well,
one.
yeah, it might be his wife, yeah. Tucker Davis. We just found Tucker Davis. Oops. Tucker, you go back there and you be good. I'm not being funny, but I'm just like, what do you do? I'm so worried about this guy, how he even got here.
Almost opened it.
Oh, wait a minute.
I don't know what that was. Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Is Sunday's gone?
No, there's one in there.
I don't know what it is, I won't take it.
Can we talk over it?
Yeah.
They are cancer meds. He's had morphine today and he's had, admittedly, beer or alcohol today in combination. He is not oriented to time right now.
Can't let him drive away. He's been drinking beers. Cooler's full of beer.
I'm not going to let him drive anyway. I'm trying to get his daughter here.
Yeah. Oh, did you call her? Cool.
They're trying to find.
With the ambulance crew and deputies on scene, the wardens get back to patrol.
We get a lot of calls like that we help on. Sometimes when you're out here in this big country and it's a long ways to find help. And so we're trained in first aid, first responders, stuff like that. So we go to a lot of those calls just to help the county out, help people out. Sometimes, we're the only law enforcement around. And so we all work together, help each other out, and that was just a case of that.
In Region 2, at the Blackfoot Clearwater Game Range, Warden Aaron Berg interviews a hunter who says a grizzly bear tried to maul him.
When she was charging me, I remember thinking to myself, I have only 3 rounds. I need to wait till the last possible moment to shoot because I have no margin for error. I cannot miss. Well, the first shot didn't even slow her down, so I thought wounded bear going that direction. I'm gonna go that direction. I made it approximately 20 yards, and I was running by some shrubs that were not very tall. And out of the shrubs ran 2 little cubs. At that point, I thought that was a sow. I turned around to look, and my worst fears were true, that she was chasing me, charging me again.
The witness from up on the hill actually saw that happen. He saw the bear chasing this guy through the woods.
He was running for the truck, he literally... I was running as fast as I could to make it to the 2 trucks, In my mind, the 2 trucks at the main road was the light at the end of my tunnel. The only way that I can describe the feeling, you're in a train tunnel and you're walking right down the middle of it. Here comes a train in one end, and your only chance of survival is hitting the end of the tunnel.
The game range was crowded that day. What Roy didn't know, this was the 3rd human encounter this sow had had that day, and he was directly in her escape route.
And I was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. I kept turning to see the gap between me and her. The gap just kept closing. I could feel my lungs burning. She just kept gaining on me. I was not gonna make it to the trucks. Your mind's just going a million miles an hour. I also thought about my little boy. I didn't know if I was gonna get to see him again. I turned around to see how close she was gaining on me.
As he ran, he tripped and fell.
And I had tripped over a log and twisted my ankle. At that point, I thought I was getting mauled.
In Region 2, shed hunter Roy Johnson stumbles upon a grizzly bear with cubs. He finds himself literally running for his life.
I had never ran so fast in my life. Bet you I ran a 4.240. I turned around to see how close she was gaining on me, and I had tripped over a log and twisted my ankle. At that point, I thought I was getting mauled. I turned around and I pulled out my gun just in time to shoot her right in front of me. And she skidded on her face right a couple feet away from me.
Somehow it incapacitated her spine and or mobility in her rear end.
The warden's investigation determines Roy's encounter was the grizzly's third with a human that day.
After that, the bear retreated, dragging its tail end with its front legs.
At that point, I tried to call 1-800-TIP-MONT, but it asked me if I would like to do this, press number 1. If I would like to do this, press number 2. And I didn't want to do any of that. I just wanted some help. So I hung up and I dialed 911. A game warden was the first one to show up. Warden Aaron Berg showed up, made sure that I was okay because I was limping.
We assessed the scene, the cubs were there. She was definitely not going to be rehabilitatable, so we had to dispatch the bear. Yeah, it's just, it's too bad. I mean, it does happen. It does. We hate to see it happen. However, when you do these kinds of investigations, we care about the wildlife. That's why we put our lives on the line every day to take care of the wildlife and protect it. But, there is a place for people too. And that kid, he made a choice to do what he had to do to go home safe to his wife and kid is the bottom line. And that's okay.
With the female grizzly dead, wardens now need to figure out what to do about the 2 orphaned cubs. The state calls in a trapping truck to try and lure in the cubs. Warden Berg keeps the area blocked while the state sets the trap. Within the hour, the trap catches both cubs.
Unfortunately, at their age, they'll never probably be in the wild ever again. I think it's best we just get them out of here.
Yeah. It's not going to be good for them, more stress, but
I know.
Tomorrow they got to go to Bozeman.
We'll let them hang out and rest tonight.
I do wish the outcome would have been different for the mother grizzly and the little cubs. That is my only regret, is that in that bad situation that 2 cubs were orphaned.
It didn't turn out so good for Mama Grizzly Bear, and not so fortunate for the cubs either, because now they're going to be forced to go to a zoo or whatever, but it's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes.
After everything was all said and done, I told him I was going home to kiss my little boy.